Picture a scenario where your silence has a stronger impact than your words and your peace can control the surrounding chaos. Today we are exploring the importance of staying quiet, which is often underestimated in our busy and noisy world. I encourage you to recall the last time you felt stressed by rumors, unfairly insulted, or wrongly judged. It was probably frustrating. Now imagine dealing with those situations with calm and composure so that you come out stronger, not just unscathed. However, being stronger, more dignified, and at peace is not only about being quiet. It involves using the power of silence as a strategic response, a tool for personal development, and a way to find inner peace. Stoicism suggests that sometimes the most powerful statement we can make is to remain silent and let our silence speak for itself. It means being so secure in our values and self-worth that the challenges of life cannot disturb us. If you are tired of constantly reacting, retaliating, and regretting, then stick with me. Today we will learn how to use your quietness as a source of power, how to remain strong in the midst of life's chaos, and how staying silent can sometimes speak volumes. Before we begin this journey of inner strength, remember to subscribe and watch the entire video. Each moment brings us closer to mastering the skill of remaining calm and transforming our lives. For example, if someone spreads a rumor about you, and it's spreading quickly from one person to another like a wildfire, your name is being quietly mentioned in hallways and written in online chats. You're standing right in the middle of the gossip, wanting to intervene and set the record straight. But remind yourself to practice self-control and take a step back, as that's what Stoicism teaches us. Engaging in gossip only fuels it and gives it more attention. Instead, consider the strength of staying quiet. By choosing not to contribute to the noise and chaos, you are depriving the gossip of its main ingredient. It may be hard to stay quiet when you hear lies about yourself, but remember that your mental peace and calmness are more important than proving gossip wrong. Stoicism advises us to not be passive, but to be strategic. There is strength in staying silent and power in not reacting. Remember the people who matter. The ones who truly know you won't be swayed by idle talk. And those who believe the gossip, well, they're not your concern. Focus on your actions, your character, your integrity. These are what truly define you, not the whispers of naysayers. So the next time you're tempted to tackle gossip head-on, take a moment. Breathe, remind yourself of your stoic armor. Embrace the silence, and watch the power it gives you. In that silence, you're not just avoiding negativity. You're rising above it. You're choosing a path of dignity, of self-respect, and ultimately of peace. It's something we've all faced at one point or another. Those sharp words that seem to cut a little too deep. That sting that lingers a bit too long. Whether it's in person, online, or even subtly disguised as a joke, insults can shake even the sturdiest of us. When someone insults you, they're often revealing more about their character than yours. Their words are a reflection of their own struggles, insecurities, or even just a momentary lapse in judgment. Stoicism teaches us to see this clearly, and to separate ourselves from the venom of their words, and to find a place of such profound inner strength that those words just lose their power. But how? But first, by recognizing that the only opinion truly capable of defining you is your own. You are the captain of your soul, the master of your fate. When insults come your way, you have a choice. You can engage, retaliate, and let those words seep into your core. Or you can rise above, secure in the knowledge of who you are and the values you are pulled. This isn't about ignoring or suppressing your feelings. It's about acknowledging them, understanding why the insult hurts, and then choosing not to grant it. The power to disrupt your peace. It's about responding, not reacting. Maybe that response is silence. A simple, powerful silence that says, "Your words do not define me." And remember, Stoicism doesn't mean you don't seek support or speak out against abuse. It means you control what you can. Your response, your emotions, your dignity. Amen. You can't control what others say, but you can control whether you accept or reject their words internally. By navigating the storm of insults with stoic wisdom, you're not just protecting yourself, you're elevating yourself. You're living a life that's not buffeted by the whims of others' opinions, but anchored in a deep, unwavering sense of self-respect and inner tranquility. Feeling angry is not the problem. It's a natural response to perceived wrongs or injustice. The real challenge, and where Stoicism steps in, is managing how we respond to that anger. It's like this. Imagine anger as a blazing fire. Left unchecked, it can consume everything in its path. But if we approach it with the calm and composed mindset of a Stoic, we can contain the fire and use it to illuminate, rather than destroy. So how do we do this? It starts with a pause. This might seem trivial, but it's incredibly powerful. In that moment of pause, you create space between the trigger and your response. You give yourself the chance to choose how to react, rather than being swept away by the tidal wave of anger. Now in that space, ask yourself, why am I angry? Stoicism teaches us to look beneath the surface. Often our anger stems from a sense of hurt, threat, or injustice. But by understanding its root, we can address the underlying issue more effectively than if we just lash out. Here's where it gets even more interesting. Stoicism doesn't just ask us to examine our anger. It invites us to question its validity. Is our perception accurate? Have we interpreted the situation correctly? It's by challenging our assumptions. we might find that our anger is based on a misunderstanding or a skewed perspective. But what if the anger is justified? Stoicism doesn't say we should suppress it. Instead, it offers the concept of constructive anger. Yes, there's such a thing. It's anger that's controlled, directed, and used for positive change. Think of it as a tool, not a weapon. It can motivate us to address injustices, stand up for ourselves, or make important changes in our lives. Yet even justified anger should not control us. The Stoic philosopher Seneca likened anger to temporary madness. So while we can acknowledge our anger and use it constructively, we must not let it cloud our judgment or dictate our actions. In practicing these Stoic principles, we don't become emotionless. We become masters of our emotions. We learn to respond to anger with reason, wisdom, and integrity. And in doing so, we not only avoid causing harm to ourselves and others, but we also cultivate inner peace and resilience. When you face unjust criticism, Stoicism encourages you to pause and take a deep breath. This isn't about suppression. It's about giving yourself a moment to process your emotions calmly and avoid reacting impulsively. Because let's face it, our gut reaction might be to retaliate or defend ourselves vehemently. However, Stoicism teaches us that there's immense power in choosing our response thoughtfully. Now imagine someone has just criticized you unfairly. Your initial reaction might be to dispute it, and to set the record straight. But here's a Stoic twist. Ask yourself, does this criticism true or not define who I am? Remember, your value and self-worth are not contingent upon others' opinions or judgments. Stoicism imparts the wisdom that our core identity and integrity remain intact, regardless of external appraisal. Next, consider the source of the criticism. Stoicism prompts us to reflect on the critics' intentions and perspectives. Often, unjust criticism is more about the critic's perceptions, insecurities, or their own internal struggles than it is about you. By understanding this, you can see the criticism for what it truly is. A reflection of the critic, not you. But here's where Stoicism doesn't mean passivity. If there's a kernel of truth in the criticism, even if it's delivered unfairly, use it as an opportunity for growth. Analyze it objectively. Well, is there something valuable you can learn? Something you can improve? Stoicism encourages us to use every experience, even the unpleasant ones, as fodder for personal development. Now let's talk about maintaining your tranquility. Stoicism teaches that your peace of mind is paramount and should not be easily disturbed by external events. including criticism. By detaching your emotional well-being from others' opinions, you shield your inner peace from the fluctuating tides of praise and blame. Loss is an inevitable part of our human experience, whether it's losing a loved one, a relationship, a job, or even an aspect of our identity. It's raw, it's real, and it can be deeply painful. But here in the midst of our grief and sorrow, Stoicism offers a beacon of hope and resilience. Stoicism acknowledges the pain of loss. It doesn't ask us to suppress our grief or pretend it doesn't hurt. Instead, it offers us a framework to process our loss more healthfully and constructively. It reminds us that while we can't control what we lose, we can control how we respond to that loss. Imagine you've just experienced a significant loss. The world feels like it's crumbling under your feet. It's here that Stoicism invites you to pause and breathe. Inhale deeply and give yourself permission to feel your emotions. To mourn, but as you do, remember your emotions are natural responses, not commands. You can feel sad, angry, or confused without letting these feelings dictate your actions or defend your future. Now here's a profoundly Stoic way of view loss as an opportunity for growth. Every loss, no matter how devastating, brings with it the seeds of new beginnings, new strengths, and new wisdom. Ask yourself, what can this loss teach me? How can it help me grow? This isn't about finding immediate answers or silver linings. It's about opening yourself to the possibility that, even in the darkest of times, there's potential for light. Stoicism also teaches us about impermanence, reminding us that loss is a natural part of life's cycle. Everything and everyone we cherish is on loan to us, so to speak. That, by internalizing this concept, we can learn to appreciate our blessings more deeply while we have them, and let go of them with grace when the time comes. Stoicism encourages us to lean into our community during times of loss, sharing our pain, but allowing others to support us, and in turn, offering our support to those who grieve, can be incredibly healing. Remember, being stoic doesn't mean going it alone. It means being wise and brave enough to connect with others, even in our most vulnerable moments. In embracing Stoicism, we don't diminish our loss or deny our pain. Instead, we learn to navigate our grief with dignity, finding our way back to peace and equilibrium in time. We acknowledge the hurt, but also recognize our capacity to recover, to find meaning, and to continue our journey with renewed strength and wisdom. When we're confronted with injustice, Our initial impulse might be to react with outrage or despair. These are natural human responses. However, Stoicism invites us to take a step back and assess the situation with clarity and composure. It doesn't mean we become indifferent or passive, rather. We choose a response that's aligned with our values and principles, not dictated by our impulses. Imagine witnessing or experiencing something unjust. The Stoic response begins with observation and understanding. Ask yourself, what is within my power to change? Stoicism teaches us to focus our efforts on our actions and attitudes, the realms where we have real agency. While we may not be able to rectify every injustice, we can choose not to let it diminish our spirit or our commitment to what's right. Now let's delve deeper into the Stoic approach to battling injustice. It's about acting with intention and purpose, whether it's raising awareness, supporting those affected, or working towards systemic change. Our actions should be thoughtful, deliberate, and grounded in our deeper understanding of justice. Stoicism also encourages us to cultivate inner resilience. Facing injustice can be draining, disheartening, even soul-crushing. But remember, your inner citadel, your core of Stoic strength, remains untouched. You can witness or experience injustice and still maintain your inner peace and integrity. This isn't about turning a blind eye. It's about not letting the outer chaos disrupt your inner harmony. Moreover, Stoicism reminds us of the power of community, and shared humanity. Injustice often isolates us, makes us feel alone in our struggle. But remember, we're part of a larger human tapestry, connecting with others, standing in solidarity, and drawing on collective strength and wisdom can be profoundly empowering. In embracing a Stoic approach to injustice, we find a balanced path forward. We act not out of impulsive anger or despair, but from a place of measured, principled strength. We acknowledge our emotions without letting them overwhelm us. We focus on what we can do, however small, to contribute to justice and fairness. When faced with ignorance, our first reaction might be to argue, correct, or even belittle the other person's viewpoint. It's natural to want to set things right. However, Stoicism invites us to pause and approach the situation differently. Instead of seeing ignorance as a battle to be won, view it as an opportunity to practice patience, empathy, and understanding. Imagine you're in a discussion, and someone presents a perspective that's not just different, but blatantly uninformed. The Stoic approach. First, listen. Really listen. Try to understand where this person is coming from. What experiences or fears might be shaping their views. By truly listening, you're not endorsing their ignorance. You're simply giving yourself the space to respond thoughtfully, rather than reactively. Next, ask yourself if this is a moment for teaching or a moment for learning. Sometimes the most stoic response is to offer information gently and respectfully, without expectation or attachment to the outcome. Other times, it might be more productive to ask questions, to learn why they hold these views, or even to reflect on what this encounter teaches you about patience and humility. But what if the ignorance you're facing is harmful or dangerous? Stoicism doesn't ask us to be passive in the face of injustice or misinformation. In these situations, you can still take a stand or voice your concerns, or provide correct information. The key is to do so with composure, not letting anger or frustration take the wheel. Stoicism also reminds us to choose our battles wisely. Not every ignorant statement needs correcting. Sometimes the most graceful and effective response is to simply walk away, or conserving your energy for more fruitful discussions or actions. And remember, navigating the seas of ignorance isn't just about dealing with others. It's also about confronting our own blind spots. Stoicism teaches us to be lifelong learners, always open to expanding our understanding and challenging our assumptions. When someone boasts, they are often seeking validation or admiration from those around them. This need for external approval can stem from insecurity or a desire to be seen as successful in the eyes of others. Stoicism teaches us to empathize with this need without getting swept up in it. Remember, true worth and contentment come from within and are not from external accolades or recognition. Now imagine you're in a situation where boasts are flying thick and fast. The Stoic approach isn't to belittle or confront, but to listen quietly and reflect inwardly. By choosing silence, you're not giving into the competitive urge to one-up the booster or to validate their need for attention. Instead, you're staying true to your values, focusing on your own path and sense of self-worth. This silence is far from passive. It's an active, powerful choice. It speaks volumes about your confidence and self-assurance. It shows that you don't need to join the chorus of self-congratulation to feel secure in your achievements or worth. Moreover, this silence allows you to observe to learn about others, and perhaps to understand what drives their need to boast. But what if the boasting becomes too much, tipping over into arrogance, or even falsehoods even here? Stoicism counsels us to weigh our response carefully. If a response is necessary, it should be measured, kind and rooted in truth, all not driven by a desire to deflate or humiliate. Embracing silence in the face of boasting also offers a moment for self-reflection. It's an opportunity to examine our reactions and ask ourselves why the boasting affects us. Are we feeling insecure, competitive, or overlooked? By understanding our emotions, we can address our own needs and insecurities more effectively than by engaging in a battle of egos. In practicing the Stoic silence amidst boasts, we cultivate inner peace, humility, and a deep-seated confidence that doesn't depend on external validation. We learn to appreciate our own worth without needing to broadcast it. And we offer others the space to express themselves, even if their way doesn't resonate with us. Imagine you hear a rumor about yourself, something untrue, maybe even damaging. The Stoic response is not to rush into the fray, battling rumor with counter-rumor. Instead, you pause. You breathe, and you remember. Your worth is not determined by others' words. By choosing silence, you're not conceding defeat. You're rising above the fray, conserving your energy and maintaining your peace. This silence is not about inaction or passivity. It's a conscious, powerful choice. It's about knowing when to speak and when to let. Your actions and characters speak for themselves. Often the rumors lose their power when they're not given the oxygen of attention and the calmness of your silence. The truth can eventually surface without your intervention. But what about the impact of these rumors? Won't silence be seen as admission? Here's where Stoicism offers profound wisdom. It teaches us that those who know us, who truly understand our character, won't be swayed by hearsay. And for those who are quick to believe the worst, their opinions were never within our control to begin with. Moreover, this Stoic silence gives us an opportunity for introspection. It allows us to look inward, to fortify our inner citadel against the slings and arrows of misinformation. In this space of reflection, we can find clarity, strength, and even a deeper sense of who we are and what we stand for. In practicing the Stoic art of silence, free amidst rumors, we also cultivate resilience. We learn to navigate the choppy waters of public, an opinion with grace, to anchor ourselves in our truth, and to move through the world with a quiet, confidence that no rumor can shake. As we conclude our journey today, remember that silence isn't just a lack of noise. It's a wellspring of strength, a testament to your inner fortitude. And in those moments, when you choose silence over words, you embrace the profound wisdom of Stoicism, transforming challenges into opportunities for growth and serenity. Now I invite you to continue this journey of growth and self-discovery by watching one of the suggested videos on your screen. On your screen, delve deeper into the wisdom of Stoicism, and let's cultivate a life of tranquility, purpose, and enduring strength together. Thank you for joining me on this path of discovery and introspection. Your presence enriches our Stoic Journal community, and together, we're learning to navigate life's storms with grace, and resilience.